bang boom. Skip the bam boom bam. Righty. Get this link out there. Let's get this link out there. The Emergent. Good to see you. Right. We are almost ready to begin. Right. Welcome, whoever's out there. I'm gonna work on some system stuff today, again. So what you're hearing now is a drone thing that I'm working on, and just a sec. Trying to get the good, correct height on this goddamn chair. I don't know. Maybe I'll never be satisfied with it. See, this feels too low. Bring it up. All right. So what I'm working on today is actually two things. We're working on some systems maintenance, like we did the last time. I'm gonna try to improve on my synthesis library factory system. I've been working on this for quite some time now, and it's really good. And now it just needs a little bit of extra features that I desperately need. So what you're listening to now is actually one of the synths from in here, from the library. It's a synth called Complex, and that's a synthesizer but inspired by the Buchla modular system module called the Complex Oscillator. I think it's called 2261 or something like that. But it's a great thing. It kind of it has two oscillators in it, and one is the primary oscillator and one is the modulation oscillator, and then you can tune the relationship between the two and how the modulation works. So it can modulate using FM, it can modulate using AM, and it can also modulate the timbre, which is basically a wave folder. So that's pretty cool. My problem right now is that what my system is doing is that it's generating a bunch of synth defs. And now we're listening to 5 pairs of this synth def, the Complex Oscillator. And it sounds great, in my opinion. It's got 5 of those, and they each have these beat frequencies going on between them to get this like boom 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 sound. That's the sound of a pair of oscillators being very close to each other in frequency. And then the difference between the two frequencies is the beat frequency. So when you hear two oscillators beating like this, boom, 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 then it's maybe half a hertz in difference between the two. And then they will phase each other out and create this beautiful pattern. And it's a very basic, a very, very basic idea of what that is. And it's yeah, such a basic trick, but I just love it so much. I think it's super beautiful. And you can hear it everywhere. If you go outside, you hear this beating everywhere, especially with ventilation systems outside. So if you go near a building that maybe has 2 different ventilators on the outside, at slightly rotating at slightly different speeds while making noise. You may be able to hear a beating frequency like this. But anyway, so here's my problem. At the start of this patch, I create 5 pairs of these synths. These are straight up synth instances. And then I get the synth def name. This is a convenience function I use for that. You see if I evaluate this, this is the actual synth def name. Whoops. There we go. And these are the arguments. So that's pretty straight up stuff. And I've reached something here that I think sounds pretty great. I've got the controls that I want. I've got the I've actually got an effects chain here at the end as well, which I also like. I have a separate factory system that produces produces synth defs for effects and contains all of the functions that I use for that. But I'm mostly going to still focus on my main synth def factory thing. But anyways, here's the problem. Because we use synths, I can't change these parameters very smoothly. When you create a synth def, you can add arguments for lags, so that when you change a frequency parameter, for example, you can say every time you do that, the change lags for 1 second, so it smoothens out the transition. But I don't have that in my synth defs. Let me see. Show you here. This is where I create my synth function. It looks really complex, but I'll explain in a minute what it's doing. And let's see, this makes synth def. Yeah, so this is basically at the core of it. It makes a synth def, gives it a name, and then puts a function in there, and then does nothing else. .load is will create, it will compile the synth def and then place it on my computer as a compiled object and load it. So this is contrary to saying .add, which will just add it to the server immediately. Yeah, there's so many different methods like this for synth def, and they're almost the same, and it's very confusing to me still after all these years. But yeah, so that's the problem. Synth def actually does take an argument. If I hover over it here, you can see it's their rates. That's actually something where you can hard code lags in there. But I'm not too crazy about that, because I don't want to fix it for the synth def. I want these synth defs to be as flexible as possible. What you can do instead is, instead of trying to reinvent the wheel, we can use node proxies as a way to use these synthesizer functions. The difference, though, when you make a node proxy is the internal synthesizer function is a bit different from a synth def. So let's see here. This is the synth function. It's got a source function. This is this complex oscillator we are listening to right now. And then it passes that through a filter, which gets a filter from my library. Then passes that through a panner, which also gets a panning algorithm from my library. And this, by the way, is one of the things that I love the most about this setup that I have. I can have the same synth source function and then use it in so many different contexts, because this panning function can pass it through like a stereo panner. It can pass it through a multi-channel Ashimut panner, and it can pass it through an ambisonics panner if I want to work in 3D, which I often do, but often I also just want to work in stereo, so there's that. And then pass it through this little thing here where it takes the signal and then applies an envelope to it to adjust the curve of the amplitude. Pretty straight up stuff. And then this uses my envelopes from the library here. This is the core of the system actually, and this is the secret sauce of everything here. Because what it does is that it takes all of the envelopes that I have, all of the filters that I have, and then it gets the synthesizer function, the source function that I put in. Let me see if I can show you an example here. It takes a source function. Let's get a simple one. Excuse me. Yeah, so this is a simple source function. It takes the variable shape oscillator and then outputs that. And then all of these are just convenience functions for creating controls. So it's basically just taking one UGen here, and that's the source function. And for each of those source function, I just create variations of depending on all of the filters that I have and all of the envelopes that I have. So every time I add a filter to my library, I automatically get variations of that for all of my envelopes and all of my panels, blah 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 blah. So that's pretty neat. But anyways, this is a pretty good standard way to make a voice in a synth def. If you go the synth def route, but what is annoying is this last part is not so cool to have inside of the inside of a node proxy. So if I was to get this function and then try to pop it into a node proxy, it wouldn't behave that well, and also it would be a waste of resources, because this particularly is something that the node proxy will handle for us. So yeah, so I guess that's the goal for now. Try to rewrite this thing so that I can use node proxies a bit easier, and I can show you the problem here. Let's change this FM modulation parameter for one of these pairs. Kind of hard to hear. Let's if I change the frequency, you can hear it very easily. Yeah, so that's not so cool. Let me just stop this for a second. That's not great if you're playing live. And I'm going to use this live, I think, at some point. This little patch here. So, let me get this back up and running. Kind of nice to have a little bit of this stuff going on in the background while working on some system maintenance. At least I like it. But maybe we talked about this here actually the other day, that you know, how often we actually end up just sitting without thinking too much about it, sitting down and thinking, like listening to, we're testing out speakers or whatever, and then like testing with pink noise, and then like without us even thinking too much about it, we end up listening to pink noise for like 3 hours without anyone kind of saying anything. And I kind of end up doing the same thing as well when I do this. So I guess that's just what happens when you do this for many years. You kind of get used to listening to this stuff. But anyway, let me just change the frequency a little bit just to make it a bit more exciting. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna refactor this stuff a little bit. Make a synth funks array or identity dictionary. I'm gonna make a dictionary, and then I'm gonna say synth def name, synth def name, funk. Okay. Add this to the initialization here. Forgot to declare it. Let's make this a class variable and make it this little hat, sideways hat, makes it gettable. So if you go m.synthnames, synth funks, wasn't it synth funks? Yeah. If you go m.synthfunks, you will be able to get this on the outside, and sometimes that's handy, so why not? If I were to do this little sideways hat means that I will be able to set it from the outside. We do not want that. Au contraire. Okay. Alright, so I've made this little thing here. It adds, takes a synth def name and a function and stores it inside of this. But it's actually not a synth. Add synth funk. Actually, I think I'm going to call it basic synth funk. Add a basic synth function that does not have out stuff or VCA stuff. VCA is kind of an old school modular synthesis term for basically applying the envelope on the amplitude. It's voltage controlled amplitude. But I've got a lot of envelopes in my system, so I decided to just call it a VCA. Okay. is that? We're adding a basic synth function. It's been initialized in the init function and gettable. Okay. So now the way it works now, when I say .add, say here you see I say m.add, add a name, and then the function. This is what we're doing here. And this is what we need to refactor. So instead of saying .add here, I think we're going to use this to construct this basic synth func, which will be this one, and then remove these two things and then put them inside of the synth def itself. So make this make synth def method a little bit more sophisticated. So I'm gonna say this.add basic synth func name func. Alright, this will take this function, store it. Now we need to take care that we have the correct parameter. Synth def stuff. But this is pretty simple right now. Let's make it less simple. This was the stuff we cut out from before. The function is passed in. We're gonna use this trick, which is the basis of the whole system. Synth wrap. Function. And then this will take the function we just looked at and embed it. Takes this function that we put in, and here it is, and embeds it inside of the synth def. So whatever ugens and whatever arguments that we have in this function will be added as arguments and ugens inside of the outer function here, which is the synth def's function. So that's pretty cool, and that's why we can make all of these things so dynamically. That's pretty good, actually. So we need to prepend arguments. Get up here. I'm gonna keep the amp. argument should be down here where we actually use it. Then to push this and let's just change this synth a little bit. Actually, we can also auto pan it because that's something that's included inside of the system. Let's see, auto pan. And then set the pan to 1. Ooh. Freak. Might be something wrong with the way I calculate the auto pan stuff, but we'll live with it for now. Now we have a little bit more movement. Let me just add a JP verb reverb to it. All right, that's vibrant enough for me for now. Back to systems maintenance. Okay, so we construct this function. And we need the duration, but envelope done is actually not used in here. Take this out, add it to the outer synth def. We see it's actually used. And then prepend args, let's put in dir. So prepend args is a mysterious little thing. It took me a while to understand, to wrap my head around this. So basically when you use wrap, it takes the function, this function up here, and embeds it inside of this synth def that we're creating right here. But what does prepend args then do? Well, the name does not reveal it, that's for sure. We've put in dir here, which corresponds to the first argument we have up here, which is dir, duration. It will take the value of this outer duration, forgot to add it here, and then pass it in through here, and then remove that from there. Because what would happen if we didn't do that is that this inner function would take all of these arguments and then add them to the outer function of the synth def here. And then we would have a problem, because then we would have two arguments named dir, and then SuperCollider would complain and kick our asses. We don't want that. So that's pretty nice. So in actuality, this inner function will only have this, it will only add this amplitude parameter to the outer function. And then this one will just be passed through here and then added to whatever it needs in here. But this will now creating a function, adding it to our function synth funcs, our synth funcs identity dictionary. That's good. Then we create the synth def. add synth def name. Add synth name. It's not the synth def, it's the synth name. This is used. I'm not sure if that's the best way to do it, but this is how I organize the synths. I have this. Let me see. I have this little thing that I use here that I can use to get the actual synth def name. So I take the synth def, like the synth source complex, which we're listening to now, and execute this, and I get a synth def name. I can add more arguments to it. Whoops. Add more arguments to it, like say I want to have a percussive envelope, and then I get a synth def name for that. That's what that does. Oh, and thank you, The Emergent, for the inspiration to finally get Lua line set up. So this is the status line down here. It's reporting the basic, stats of the SuperCollider server. And the only thing I didn't figure out yet is how to get percentages in there. But so these notes are actually percentages, so it's using between 13 and 17% of the audio thread right now, and then 839 UGents in 12 synths. That's pretty good. But anyways, thanks for the inspiration. Okay, I do kind of think that this is done. This should probably be broken up at some point. Get funk. Let's get this, let's create this get a method as well, just to make it easy to get these functions again. Not nil. And I always add these checks because if it doesn't exist, then I want to know it. Dictionary. Okay. It's not nil. Oh, that was actually the if it is nil. So now if it is not nil, turn nil here. It's not nil, synth funcs, synth def name. Add this top hat here. This is a top hat pointing up, which means that it's returning something. It's returning this outside of the class. Okay. Okay. There you hear the auto panning function not working correctly. It works correctly in ambisonics, where it goes all the way around, but not in stereo at the moment. It's something that I've been fighting with surprisingly a lot. But yeah. So let's see if this refactor actually works. I'm gonna recompile now, which will kill the sound, but we'll get it back up and running soon. Let's see. There it is. The first errors. Synth def name not defined. Because I did not add any parameters. Def name. And nil. So if this getFunc thing does not get an argument at all, it's gonna complain as well. Okay, let's see. Okay. Now the next one is env type not defined. Line 133. Yep. There it is. Not defined. It's not defined. This is the env type. Add basic function. Make synth def. Let's add an env type parameter here, and then pass it in through there. So now we're passing env type this type. Now we should be good to go, or at least it should compile. It does. Okay. Now let's try and build all of these synthesizers. Whoopsies. Sure, what happened there? Modifiable. Ooh. Huh, what's going on here? Something weird just happened with my NeoVim. Not allowed here. All right. No name. Okay. Let me just restart NeoVim here. Edit anyway. Okay. Now we can insert characters again. I wonder what that was, but let's not think too much about that in the moment. Okay, where were we? Recompiling the class library. And seeing if we can do things with it. Okay. Not sure what's going on here. I think I messed something up in one of my plugins. But anyways, let's see if it can create synth defs for us. Oops. Force it to rebuild. This is a feature that I have that I actually kind of hate. I can run this library without building all of the synth devs, because I can just load the ones that were compiled the last time. But it does not work very well at the moment. But I think the things that I'm doing now should help make it a bit easier. Okay. Rebuild. And there's a lot of weird things going on at the moment, but for some reason it added different kind of highlighting to the post window. I'm using some session management in NeoVim at the moment, so sometimes that messes up the post window in SuperCollider. Yep. Okay, it was able to make all of the synth devs without complaining. Set files. Let me just see what the file type of this is. Okay, set file type is the nvim. There's a post window. Alright, anyway, doesn't matter right now. Let's see if still make sound. Yep. So sounds like we didn't ruin that bit at least. That's a big first step. All right. So where were we? By the way, a small pro tip to anyone out there using NeoVim. One of my favorite things to do, and you just saw it right now, is to, well, I have a lot of favorite key bindings, but one of the default ones that I use a lot is G and then semicolon. This will allow you to jump back to the places where you edited text the last time. So, and it works across you opening and shutting down the program. So I can immediately open this file that I just did, and just go G semicolon, and it will jump to the place where I was last editing text the last time I had opened this. So that this is where that is. I think that's pretty neat. And if I press it again, it's gonna do the same thing but jump back one more step. So this is the place that I was editing text before that. It's pretty cool. Anyways, so I immediately see a problem here with this get func thing, but we'll get back to that. Because what this will need us to do is to, it's not a huge thing, but we need to get the actual synth dev name, but for now we can live with that. So m.getfunc, let's see what happens if we don't put anything in there. Boom, error, could not find synth dev name. Great. That's what we wanted. But let's actually get a synth dev name. So instead we can use this get function, complex. We'll get synth dev complex with an ADSR envelope and a cork 35 filter. Get func. Could not find synth dev name. Huh. Okay, let's inspect synth func. See, in here. Huh. Okay. Interesting. seems like it's actually got keys value do, then get the name of the key in the synth funcs dictionary. It does seem to contain quite a lot of things. So this, let's just clear out the window. This should be complex ADSR, and now let's print this again, and then let's search for that. It is right there. Maybe. Yeah, I know what the problem is here. This is such a sneaky thing. If this is what I think it is, it's such a sneaky thing in SuperCollider. Get name. Yep. So I'm trying to get function here using this m.get, but m.get returns symbol. You can see if I do this. But synth funcs have keys that are strings. And a string and a symbol is not the same thing. If I try to look up something with this, I won't be able to get it because SuperCollider will say, well, you know what, you asked for a symbol and there's only one of these symbols, but we have a string here that looks exactly the same, but it's a string. So how could they be the same? I think that's a sneaky thing in SuperCollider. I think it's unnecessarily well, it has a potential for so many bugs, and the fact that you don't get any warnings or anything about that, I think that's pretty sneaky. But it's also because you can use whatever as like the name of where you put something inside of an identity dictionary, and then, you know, but I don't like it. So if I do say a string here on this to get the function, still doesn't work. And what if I do it directly on the funcs? Still does not work. That is pretty weird. Let's say none. Try out some stuff here. here I'm doing this, forcing it to become a symbol. I think that's lame. I think I wanted to do that at the moment where it creates the name. Get name, here it is. This is a bit more bit better. This will get the actual synth dev name as a symbol. Here it is, gets the name. Before it was a string, now it's a symbol. It takes the name and uses that to create this. Kill the sound now by recompiling. Brutal. Got to be done. It's got to be done. Yeah, someone just wrote me on another chat that was actually the solution. Hopefully. Hopefully. Okay. Okay, get. Yep, that still works. Can I now get the function? Yep, we now have a function. That's great. Still have sound. But let's change the bass frequency. And 51. We want more beats. Do we want less beats? Give it more beats. Less beats, sorry. Okay. That's pretty good. Now we should actually, with it's out of there, with this function, we should actually be able to create a node proxy. Let's do a quick messy thing here. Node proxy new, server S, audio, num channels, 2. Okay, and that source, set the source function to the function we get from this. Let's see if that works. The gate control should be able to free a function. I think that's caused by whatever. Sure. Anyways, test it out. Just we can say end control names, I think. Backed it a little bit. Let's see, here we have controls. Duration, it's got amplitude, frequency, it's got offset. Yep, this all looks good and well. Set the 2 just to ensure it doesn't explode. Play it. Stop the other ones. Yep. Set the frequency down a bit. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so we kind of succeeded, but the whole point with this was to be able to use node proxies for those use cases where we want to, well, whenever we want to use a node proxy, but especially to use the fade times and what's it called? Let's see here. This is the help file for node proxy. I haven't used node proxies in a while. I used to use them all the time, every day, but I haven't used them in a while. Kind of sad. They're great, and they're really easy to patch and use in a kind of like modular way. But that's not always what you want. Let's see. Cannot remember for the life of me what it's called. Method. There's xset. I can't remember if that. Here we are. Fade time. Sets the crossfade time. We have set map at set n. Nice. Unset. Nice. Xset. Here we have it. This will crossfade. That's actually not what we want. We want to. What is it called? Is it simply just setting lag? Find out. Okay, so I say n dot lag. Is that it? Yeah, lag. Okay, let's use something that's easy to hear. Frequency. Let's get a lag of 4. Okay, so now when we change this, we should be able to hear the changes happening slowly, if I got this right. We did not. But that was not the one I was thinking about. What's it called? What's it called? Yeah, someone said set wrapping in the post window. I need to set this back to the correct file type. I don't know what happened there. Can't remember what the file type is called in SCNVim. If anyone out there can remember, let me know. Xset, that's one. Maybe it is xset. Let's see. So xset, as far as I remember, works like this. Set the fade time of the proxy to 4. Let's say 4. And normal set, nothing happens. But we use xset. Whoops. Still nothing happening. It's very curious. What if I set the fade time a bit higher? That's kind of weird. What's going on here? See, these clicky changes are exactly what we do not want. Did it actually set the fade time? 10. Huh. Fade time is 10. Like, let's just completely create a new one here. See if we did anything weird. Maybe this gate stuff is to blame here. Because if like the node proxy stuff does changes with envelope and it expects that envelope to have a gate, could be a problem, but I'm not sure. Not sure. Could test it. We could test it out. Yeah, let's do that. So I'm gonna add a component to my library. So I have all of these envelopes that I use. All of these, as if there's many, but there's actually only 3. It's an ADSR, percussive one, and the gate one. The gate one is great for things that already have a kind of envelope built in, so like plucked strings and stuff. That's what I use that for. And then perk is just a very percussive envelope. I've always loved that one. And then ADSR is just a classic ADSR. But I'm gonna add another one here. This is maybe a hack, but let's try it out. So envs is just a dictionary with all of these envelopes in them. You can create an envelope called none, which does take those parameters, but it does nothing with them. So it just returns 1. So this will create an envelope type in my system called none. Then in here, let's see. The filters have an envelope built in, so they will call an envelope as well. So that envelope type will not. I think this has a gate parameter, so the envelope inside of the filters. So that might be the problem. Yeah, but anyways, so when I choose the envelope type none, this whole thing here. Oh, where did you go? There it is. From here to the end of the line will just become 1. And that should remove the gate for us. Well, and do the buildity build. You see how my computer is almost exploding here. And you also see that the synth dev name with this none here is showing up. The first none is the envelope. The second, if there's another none here, it's the filter. So we can create ones filters where it just doesn't have a filter. So often that's the case. That I don't want to filter at the end of my synth, and so it just doesn't put one in there. It's pretty good. Let's see. Seems like it's just progressively getting slower and slower, closer and closer to actually exploding. There it is. Done. Okay. Let's try this again. The gate control should be able to free the synth. Ah. Ah, we're actually not pulling in. Env type none. There it is. Now it does not complain. Let's try again. Yep, that was the issue. Now I can change this and it fades from one to the other. But it's actually not the fade time that I'm interested in. So now I set the fade time to 0.1. What happens when you set fade time and you use xset is that it will actually play 2 copies of the synth. So one is the old one, and then it will slowly fade in the new one. That's not what we're trying to do here. We want to take one synth and then with this parameter, I want the parameters changed just to be very slow and lagged. So let's see if this lag parameter works now. Set it to 4. And then when we change the frequency, nope. Nope, not it. What's it called? What's it called? Can't remember what it's called. Lag. We're pretty sure that there was lag I needed to use, but maybe not. Lag. Control lags. Can't believe this isn't it. This is kind of what it says in this example, I feel. Wait a minute, what's this stuff? Behave like a SC2 plug. Never seen this before. Gate line. Gate to map. Interesting. Interesting. Let me put this drone back on to entertain you while I read help files. To go deeper. Maybe we need to go to proxy space. source code of node proxy and see. Bus plug is the one thinking about. Going on for it here. Set bus. What that's up to. Nope. Perform. The sound we're hearing right now is the kind of sound with, you know, if you're watching a David Lynch movie or something, or Twin Peaks, and then you had the subtitles on. It would say, like in square brackets in the subtitles, ominous sound. Ominous sound. Well, maybe that's just how it is. Maybe we have to crossfade between them instead of lagging them. I'm not too crazy about that. Inspect this. Proxy node map. Nothing. Just node map. Yep, there it is. Here we can see the association between parameters and their values. So frequency is now at 309. Fade time of 2.1. But I want to see rates for freak. Does it work? No. Node map. rates. Yes, it does. Then rates 4. Not working. There it is. It does have a rate for 10. And yet... Another mystery, another mystery. Not sure. That's a god, I remember that there was a lag equivalent to the X set thing. Perform, what was it called? Perform. Oh well, we got the crossfade stuff going at least. Yeah, okay. Let's try and rewrite this thing to use our newly made node proxy stuff. So this will be a node proxy new, and channel. Okay. And we do this. Get the complex oscillator. Set the fade time immediately to... Okay. And so this will put the source function in there. Now we want this arguments, setting this immediately. And then the last thing we need is this group. Sure that node proxy is the last thing here, because that will return it to the collection. The last expression is the return value in outside of a class. Let's see, the class. Play. Seem to remember that play set the group. Yep. play, group, node proxy play, group. Okay. This group I just use so I can easily add effects to it. Proxy. Not hearing a whole lot. I'm calling fade time on. Should be. Let's see. It's not setting the parameters because this should be unfolded. If we use X set here, should be a slow transition between the first and the second. Really nice. Right, let me add some effects. This is the analog phaser. This is Jatin Chowdhury's analog phaser implementation that I ported to SuperCollider. It's in the ported plugins package. So look that up on GitHub if you're interested. I'm still figuring out how to control it, but I do think it sounds pretty delicious on this kind of material. Add a reverb as well. I'm gonna make a cup of tea while you listen to this for a bit, maybe. Be right back. right. I'm not sure how much more. How much more we need to do about this at the moment. Check it out. That's my tea brewing right now. Pretty cool. Anyways, gonna just add one more thing here. I'm gonna call this funk raw, and then create a convenience function here. Convenience function here called getFunk. Call this getFunk raw name, but then use synth name get instead. Boy, my computer is struggling. That's all right. It's worth the struggle. So we did that. Now let's do some git commits. Perfect way to end any fun live stream, right? I'm gonna do git commits while I jump back here and change some stuff. Live coding music while doing git commits. Maybe not such a good idea, but that's how I work. What did I want to do? Yeah, I want to change the waveform a little bit here. Let's get it committed. Let's get committed. Well, like commit in the past tense should be commit. Probably the only one in the world who thinks that. You know what? If enough of us get together, we fight for it. We keep saying commit as a way of saying commit in past tense. And one day, all the cool kids will say commit. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. This is another thing that I was playing around with the other day. Adding a vocoder at the end of all of these drones. It's not great. Let's try it out. It's not great, I have to say, but it's also not bad. Push up the dry wet a bit. And then add another one to get the beating frequency between two vocoders as well. That's a pretty crappy idea, actually. But I wanted to try it out. And here we are. Okay. I think that's gonna be it for today. You can find this code on codeberg.org. And the repo is called mk-synthlib. A username on there is Maskilgo. What else do I need to say? Yeah, if you haven't already consider joining our meetups at Notam. Once a month we have a SuperCollider meetup online, hosted by the ever great Scott Carver. It's really nice. Lots of nice people, very inspirational. It's on Zoom and it's free. So if you go to the scsynth.org forum, you will be able to find more information about that. I think you should. Because it's some pretty good information that's out there. Thanks a lot for stopping by. See you all out there on the internet, in the streets of Oslo, or wherever. Take care.